Welcome back to Afro Korean Stories. If you haven't watched part one, stop right now and go watch it. This will make so much more sense. For everyone else who's been waiting, Annie and Gu Anji's story isn't over. Not by a long shot. Hit that subscribe button because what happens next will change everything you thought you knew. Trust me, you need to see this. Annie finds the files at 3 a.m. She's not snooping, not intentionally. Their daughter, Ha-rin, is teething, screaming, and Annie is exhausted, delirious, desperate for the baby pain medication Gu Anji said was in his office desk. Top drawer, that's what he said. But the top drawer is locked. The second drawer isn't. And inside, underneath folders labeled JH Biopharma Quarterly Reports, she finds a medical file with a name she recognizes, SO-YEON WIFE number 4. DECEASED. Annie's blood goes cold. Deceased. Gu Anji told her there were 3 wives before her, 3 women who ran away, who couldn't handle him, who left. He never said anything about a 4th wife. He never said anything about someone dying. Her hands shake as she opens the file. Medical records, hospital admission forms, and then a death certificate. Cause of death, cardiac arrest due to severe physical exhaustion and malnutrition. The room spins. Annie reads it again and again, trying to make the words mean something other than what they obviously mean. His 4th wife didn't run away. She died. From what he did to her. Behind her, the office door opens. Annie? Gu Anji's voice is soft, confused. What are you doing in here? She turns slowly, holding the file. His face goes white. Who is So-YEON Park? Annie's voice is steady, but her entire body is shaking. And why did you tell me there were only 3 wives before me? For a long moment, he says nothing. Then, let me explain. Explain? Annie's voice rises. You lied to me. You told me 3 women ran away. You never said one of them died. You never said... She looks at the death certificate again. Cardiac arrest from exhaustion? From malnutrition? It wasn't like that. Then what was it like, Gu Anji? Tell me. He closes the office door, runs a hand through his hair, looks like a man who's been caught in a trap he set himself. So-YEON was my 4th wife, he says quietly. Before you. Before I had the medical treatment. When the hunger was at its worst. And she tried. God, she tried so hard. But I was out of control. The drugs in my system, I couldn't stop. I was a monster, Annie, a literal monster. She stopped eating because she was so exhausted. Stopped sleeping. Her body just gave out. Annie feels like she's going to be sick. You killed her. No. Yes, I don't know. His voice cracks. I didn't mean to, but the result is the same. She's dead because of me. And you didn't think I deserved to know this? Annie's voice is shaking now. You didn't think your current wife should know that your previous wife died from being married to you? I was trying to protect you. Protect me? She laughs, bitter and sharp. Or protect yourself? Because if I'd known, I never would have married you. I never would have... She stops, because she realizes what she's saying. If she'd known, Ha-rin wouldn't exist. The thought makes her want to scream. I need you to leave, she says quietly. Annie, get out. Get out of this office. Out of this house. I don't want to look at you right now. He hesitates, then nods. I'll go to the Seoul penthouse, give you space. But Annie? His voice breaks. I love you, that's not a lie. None of what we have is a lie. I don't believe you anymore. He flinches like she's hit him. Then he leaves, and Annie collapses on the office floor, holding a dead woman's file, wondering how she ended up exactly where So-YEON Park did. Mrs. Seo arrives 2 days later. Annie hasn't spoken to Gu Anji, hasn't answered his calls or texts. She's functioning on autopilot, feeding Ha-rin, changing diapers, existing in a haze of betrayal and grief. Then the doorbell rings. Madame Rowe answers it, and moments later, Mrs. Seo sweeps into the living room like a storm dressed in Dior. Where is my son? She demands. Seoul, Annie says flatly. I told him to leave. Mrs. Seo's eyes narrow. So you've discovered his little secret? Annie's head snaps up. You knew? Of course I knew. I paid the family to stay quiet, made sure the death certificate listed natural causes instead of what it really was: negligent homicide. The casual cruelty in her voice makes Annie's stomach turn. You covered it up. I protected my son, Mrs. Seo corrects. Just like I protected him from the other 3 disasters before So-Yeon. Just like I'll protect him from you. Excuse me? Mrs. Seo sits down, crossing her legs with aristocratic precision. You're falling apart, dear. Anyone can see it. You're exhausted, depressed, clearly unable to handle the demands of this marriage, which means Hareen isn't safe with you. Annie's blood goes ice cold. What are you saying? I'm saying, Mrs. Seo says with a smile that doesn't reach her eyes, that if you're not careful, I'll have you declared an unfit mother. Take custody of my granddaughter, and you'll go back to Nigeria with nothing. You can't do that? Can I? Mrs. Seo pulls out her phone, shows Annie a series of photos. Annie looking exhausted, holding Harin with dead eyes. Annie crying in the grocery store. Annie screaming at Gu Anji outside the house 3 nights ago. I've been documenting your decline, Mrs. Seo says pleasantly, along with testimony from household staff about your emotional instability. One call to family court and Harin becomes mine. Annie can't breathe. Why are you doing this? Because you're destroying my son. Mrs. Seo leans forward. He was finally healing, finally becoming the man he was supposed to be. And now you've pushed him away, made him feel like a monster again. So here's what's going to happen. You're going to forgive him. You're going to smile and play the perfect wife. Or you're going to lose your daughter and your comfortable life. Choose wisely. She stands, smooths her skirt. I'll give you 48 hours to make your decision. After that, my lawyers get involved. She leaves, and Annie realizes she's trapped in a cage far worse than the room upstairs. Annie doesn't call Gu Anji. She calls someone else. Dr. Cho, she says when he answers, I need to know everything about the experimental drugs, about what they did to Gu Anji, about what happened to So-Yeon Park, the real story. There's a long silence. Mrs. Gu, I can't. His mother is trying to take my daughter. I need ammunition, please. Another pause. Then, meet me at Gyeongbokgung Palace tomorrow, 2 p.m. Come alone. Dr. Cho looks older in daylight, tired, haunted. What I'm about to tell you, he says, could destroy Gu Anji's company, his reputation, everything. I'm listening. The drugs he took weren't experimental stamina enhancers. They were military-grade combat stimulants, designed to keep soldiers alert, aggressive, functional for days without rest. JH Biopharma was developing them under a classified government contract. Annie's head spins. He was a soldier? No, he was the CEO who volunteered to test them on himself to prove they were safe for human use. Corporate ego, hubris, whatever you want to call it. And they destroyed him. They did more than that. Dr. Cho hands her a folder. They created a dependency, not just physical, psychological. His brain is wired now to need constant stimulation. Without it, he experiences withdrawal so severe it mimics psychosis. Annie opens the folder. Medical scans, brain imaging, charts showing neurotransmitter levels that look insane. So-Yeon Park, she says quietly. What really happened? Dr. Cho's face darkens. She wasn't just exhausted, she was being drained, literally. Gu Anji's condition requires not just physical intimacy, but a specific type of biochemical exchange. Oxytocin, dopamine, serotonin. His body leaches them from his partner. So-Yeon's system couldn't produce them fast enough. She essentially died of neurochemical depletion. Annie feels like she's going to vomit. And the other 3 wives? Figured it out before it killed them. Ran. Smart women. So why am I still alive? Dr. Cho looks at her with something like pity. Because you've been taking my supplements. They artificially boost your neurochemical production. You're essentially doping to survive your marriage. The world tilts. Everything. The pills Dr. Cho gave her, the way she's been able to endure when others couldn't, the way her body adapted. It was all artificial. She's been chemically modified to survive her husband. What happens? Annie asks slowly. If I stop taking them? You'll crash, hard, depression, exhaustion, possibly worse. And if I keep taking them, long-term effects are unknown. You're the first person to survive this long. Annie closes the folder. Why are you telling me this? Because, Dr. Cho says quietly, I've watched 4 women be destroyed by this. I won't watch a 5th. If you want out, I'll help you. New identity, resources, whatever you need. But you have to decide now. What about Harin? Take her with you. I'll testify about the drugs if it comes to custody court. Mrs. Seo won't risk that information going public. It's a lifeline, an escape, everything she should want. But all Annie can think about is Gu Anji's face when he said, I love you. That's not a lie. I need time, she whispers. You have 24 hours. After that, I'm leaving Korea for good. I can't be complicit in this anymore. That night, Gu Anji comes home. He doesn't ask permission, just walks into the house like he still belongs there, finds Annie in Harin's nursery, and stops in the doorway. I know you hate me, he says quietly. I know I lied, but I need to tell you something. I'm listening. So-Yeon's death broke me, completely. I became someone I didn't recognize. I swore I'd never marry again, never put another woman through that hell. But you did. You married me. Because I thought the medical treatment fixed me. I thought I was cured. The doctors said the hunger was manageable, that I could have a normal marriage. I believed them. His voice cracks. And then I met you. And you were so strong, so alive, and I thought maybe I could have something real. Something that wasn't tainted by what I'd become. But it was tainted. From the beginning. Yes, and I should have told you. I know that now. Annie turns to face him. Dr. Cho told me everything. About the combat drugs, about the neurochemical dependency, about how my supplements are the only reason I'm not dead like So-Yeon. Gu Anji goes pale. He told you. He offered me a way out, new identity, resources, a chance to disappear with Harin before your mother destroys me in court. Are you going to take it? I don't know. Annie's voice breaks. I don't know who I am anymore. Am I Annie who fell in love with you, or am I just a chemically altered survival mechanism? How do I know what's real? This is real. He moves closer, careful, like approaching something fragile. What we have, what we've built, Harin, the life we're trying to create, that's real. Is it? Or is it just Stockholm Syndrome with better medication? The question hangs between them. I can't answer that for you, Gu Anji says finally. But I can tell you this. I will spend the rest of my life trying to be worthy of you. I will get better treatment. I will find a way to fix what's broken in me. And if you decide to leave, I won't stop you. I'll sign whatever papers you need. Give you whatever resources you want. Because you deserve better than this? Better than me? Annie wipes her eyes. Your mother threatened to take Harin. I know. I told her if she tries, I'll destroy her. Cut her off financially. Expose every dirty secret she's ever buried. She won't touch our daughter. You'd do that? Go to war with your own mother? For you? He smiles sadly. For Harin? Without hesitation. It's the first time Annie has believed him completely. I need you to do something for me, she says quietly. Anything. I need you to undergo full neurochemical rehabilitation, real treatment, not just managing symptoms, actually fixing your brain, whatever it takes. That kind of treatment, Annie, it could take years. It might not even work. Then we'll figure it out. But I won't stay in a marriage where I'm medicating myself just to survive you. Either we both heal or we both let go. Gu Anji stares at her, then slowly nods. Okay, I'll do it. And I need complete honesty. No more secrets, no more buried files. If there's anything else I should know, you tell me now. He hesitates. There's one more thing. Annie's stomach drops. What? The drugs didn't just affect my body. They affected my ability to regulate emotion, specifically attachment. I don't just love you, Annie. I'm chemically dependent on you, like an addict. What does that mean? It means my brain has bonded to you on a neurological level. Losing you would trigger the same withdrawal as stopping the drugs. It means I literally can't imagine existing without you. And I know that's not romantic. It's horrifying. But you deserve to know the truth. Annie processes this. So you're saying you love me, but you don't know if it's real love or just brain chemistry? I'm saying I don't know where the chemistry ends and the love begins. But Annie, his voice breaks. When I look at you, when I hold Harin, when we're together as a family, that feels real. It feels like the only real thing in my entire life. Whether that's love or addiction or some combination of both, I don't know. But it's what I have. And I'm offering it to you, broken as it is. It's the most honest thing he's ever said. And somehow, that matters more than anything else. Annie meets Dr. Cho the next day. I'm not leaving, she tells him, but I need your help. Dr. Cho sighs. Annie, I need you to design a rehabilitation program for both of us. Gu Anji needs to rewire his brain chemistry. I need to wean off the supplements. We need to find out who we are without all the artificial enhancement. That's gonna be brutal. Months, maybe years of treatment. I know, but it's the only way forward that I can live with. Dr. Cho studies her. You love him. I don't know. Maybe. Or maybe I've just convinced myself I do because leaving feels impossible. Annie meets his eyes. But I need to know, and I can't know until we're both clean of this mess. Dr. Cho nods slowly. All right, I'll design the program, but Annie, if at any point it becomes dangerous, if he becomes unstable, you promise me you'll take Harin and run. I promise. The next 6 months are hell. Gu Anji undergoes aggressive neurochemical therapy, medications that make him violently ill. Cognitive behavioral therapy that forces him to examine every unhealthy pattern. Physical therapy to retrain his body's stress responses. Annie weans off Dr. Cho's supplements gradually. The crashes are brutal, days where she can barely get out of bed, where everything feels gray and meaningless. They move into separate bedrooms, relearn how to exist in the same space without chemistry dictating every interaction. Harin grows, learns to walk, says her first word, Mama. Mrs. Seo tries twice more to intervene. Both times, Gu Anji shuts her down so completely she stops calling. Some days are good. Gu Anji makes breakfast. Annie laughs at something stupid. They take Harin to the park and feel almost normal. Other days, they can barely look at each other. On month 4, Gu Anji has a breakdown, locks himself in the old cage room, the one that's supposed to be an art studio now. Annie finds him there, shaking, crying, begging her not to leave. I can feel it going away, he sobs. The need for you, the dependency. And I'm terrified that when it's gone, there won't be anything left. That you were only there because my brain forced you to be. Annie sits beside him on the floor. Then we'll find out together, she says quietly. And whatever we find, whether it's love or just shared trauma or something else entirely, we'll deal with it. What if there's nothing? Then we'll build something new. 8 months after starting treatment, Dr. Cho runs the final tests. Your neurochemistry is normal, he tells Gu Anji. The dependency is gone. You're clean. Gu Anji looks at Annie. And you? Fully weaned off the supplements, your body is producing neurochemicals at healthy levels again. They sit in the doctor's office, 2 people who've been married for nearly 2 years, staring at each other like strangers. So, Annie says quietly, now what? Now, Dr. Cho says, you get to find out who you are without all the chemistry dictating your choices. This is the first time your relationship is entirely voluntary. No drugs, no dependency, no survival mechanisms, just 2 people who get to decide what happens next. He leaves them alone. Annie and Gu Anji sit in silence. I'm scared, Gu Anji admits finally. Me too. What if we don't love each other? What if this whole time it was just chemicals and desperation? Then we'll know, Annie says, and we can make real choices. For Harin, for ourselves. Do you want a divorce? The question hangs in the air. Annie considers it. Really considers it for the first time without panic or medication or dependency clouding her judgment. Ask me again in 3 months, she says finally. Let's live as roommates, co-parents, friends maybe, and see what grows without all the artificial pressure. Gu Anji nods slowly. Okay, 3 months, and then we decide. They shake hands like business partners. It feels absurd. It feels like freedom. Annie finds Gu Anji on the roof of the mansion. He's standing at the edge, looking out at Hanmir City, and for a terrifying moment she thinks, but then he turns, smiles, and she sees he's just thinking. Hi, she says. Hi. 3 months of living as roommates, 3 months of co-parenting without the weight of marriage crushing them, 3 months of learning who they are when chemistry isn't deciding for them. So, Gu Anji says, it's been 3 months. It has. Have you decided? Annie moves to stand beside him. They're quiet for a long moment. I think, she says slowly, that I'm still figuring out who I am, who I was before all of this, who I want to be. And where do I fit in that? I don't know yet. She looks at him. But I know I don't hate you. I know I like the conversations we have now. I like watching you with Harin. I like that you're in therapy and actually doing the work. That's not love. No, but it might be the beginning of something real. She pauses. What about you? Without the dependency, without the chemistry, do you still want this? Want me? Gu Anji is quiet for a long time. I don't know if what I feel is love, he admits. I don't know if I even know what love is supposed to feel like, but I know I want to find out, with you, if you'll let me. What does that look like? Dating, maybe, like normal people. Taking Harin to the park, having dinner, learning about each other without trauma as the foundation. Starting over. Starting over, he agrees, but smarter this time, healthier. Annie considers this. And if we realize we're not compatible, that we're better as co-parents than partners, then we deal with that honestly. No traps, no cages, no manipulation, just two people making the best choice for our daughter. It's not a happy ending, but it's an honest one. Okay, Annie says. Let's try. Yeah? Yeah, but Gu Anji? She looks him in the eye. If you ever lie to me again, if you ever hide something that fundamental, I'm gone. No second chances. Are we clear? Crystal clear. They stand side by side, watching the city lights flicker on as evening falls. It's not passionate. It's not desperate. It's not the consuming fire they started with. But it's real. And maybe that's enough. Maybe that's everything. The end. For now. If this story made you feel things, hit that like button. Drop a comment. Do you think Annie made the right choice? Would you have stayed or run? Subscribe for part 3 because yes, there's more. And what happens when So-Yeon Park's family shows up demanding answers is going to blow your mind. This is Afro-Korean Stories, where love isn't always pretty, but it's always real. See you in the next one.